Journey Beyond Sodor. It was, a controversial Thomas film, to say the least. From the very first trailer, people were just divided on this film. Some people loved it, some people hated it, and some people were somewhere in between. My thoughts on the film have swayed throughout its 5 years of being released, and the conclusion I have right now is that I like it, but I feel there was a lot more they could have done with the concept. I love what they were going for here, something a little bit more dark and intense, but simply by the fact that it's connected to the Thomas and Friends title, I feel that it had to be a bit more kid-friendly because, let's be honest, in today's world, everyone sees Thomas as just another kids show. Personally, I think that argument is just ignorant. Kids are smarter than you think. And even if kids were as stupid as people would think, simply put, you're not just writing for the kids. You're writing for the unfortunate parents that have to watch the product with them. So, to put my money where my mouth is, I'm going to attempt to rewrite Journey Beyond Sodor with a darker tone in mind, while still keeping it relatively family-friendly. However, I'm going to throw in a curveball here. As much as I love Thomas, trust me, I hold the unpopular opinion of saying that Thomas is my favorite character in the franchise. I don't think he's right for the lead role of this story. So, by following the example of Steamzilla95, I'm going to be proposing Oliver to be the main character of this rewrite. Besides, he has a history with scrap, so I think placing him as the main character of a story about a steelworks just feels appropriate. So, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Journey Beyond Sodor opens similarly to how it does in the original film. The narrator explains to the audience how the Northwestern Railway operates across the island of Sodor. He explains that there are branch lines, industries, yards, seaside villages, and of course the main line that are operated thanks in part to the efforts of the engines. The narrator explains how the mainline services continue all the way to Vickerstown. However, the scene shifts after that. It's explained that although the line continues beyond Sodor into the mainland, none of the steam engines go there. At least, not anymore. The scene fades to Oliver and Toad pulling a line of tankers towards Vickerstown. The two friends are jovially chatting.
Lovely day, isn't it, Mr. Oliver?
Indeed it is, Toad. Perfect day for me to stretch my wheels. Oliver eagerly speeds up a little bit, but Toad corrects him.
Whoa, beg your pardon, Mr. Oliver, but we gotta start slowing down. We're nearing Vickerstown.
Right, you can be such a stick in the mud, Toad. The two quickly arrive at Vickerstown. Oliver looks out into the distance and sees the Vickerstown Bridge. Oliver looks a little concerned. Thomas rolls up. He's been the station pilot this week as Rosie went to the works to be repainted. This will be his obligatory cameo in the film. Enjoying the view, Oliver? It would be nice to see the world, wouldn't it? Oliver seemed almost insulted by this comment.
No, Thomas, it wouldn't be nice.
Thomas was shocked by Oliver's outburst.
Oliver, are you okay?
Yes, I'm sorry, Thomas. Just, the main line brings back a lot of bad memories.
Really?
It seemed quite nice when we went to the Great Railway Show. Trust me, Thomas, if you saw what the other railway does when the cameras are put away, you wouldn't want to go there either. We would then get a scene depicting what it's like to be a steam engine on British Railway. This brutal scene would be in stark contrast to the joy-filled one we saw at the beginning of the film. As we snap back to reality, Oliver is shunting in the Vickerstown yard, with Toad still attached to the tankers they just delivered.
You're doing an excellent job, Mr. Oliver.
Right, thank you, Toad. Just then, one of the workmen walked up to Oliver. James is broken down. We need you to take his coaches. Coaches? Right, sir.
Do you want me to come with you, Mr. Oliver?
Thank you, Toad, but I think I could use some time by myself. I'll be back in a few hours. Toad could tell that Mr. Oliver was feeling a bit down. However, he had too much respect for him to object.
Okay, Mr. Oliver, I'm here if you need anything. Thank you, Toad.
And with that, the Great Western pair split up. By noon, Sydney, the forgetful diesel, had come to collect the oil tankers and take them on to the mainland. All right, I'm at the yard. Now, what am I here for again? Just then, Rosie rolled up, in her red paint job, might I add.
Ah, Sydney, right on time. Your train is in that siding over there. Toad is still attached, so you'll need to swap him out, but you can use any brake van. Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but I need to get these trucks in order.
And with that, Rosie rolled away. Sydney reversed down to his train, humming his little song. Ha ha ha, hee hee hee, a very special job for me. I come to the yard to get my load, but I better remember to swap out Toad. However, as they were being coupled up, a lot of safety checks had to be done, since they were flammable material. By the time everything was ready, Sydney had completely forgotten about Toad. Ha ha ha, hee hee hee, a very special job for me. I come to the yard to get my load and, I better not dawdle and hit the road. And with that, Sydney raced down the line towards the Vickerstown Bridge with Toad in tow. The brake van, who was asleep at the time, was blissfully unaware of the journey he was about to embark on. Elsewhere, Oliver was pulling the local and was experiencing his own troubles. We now get to see what's been bothering him ever since he saw the Vickerstown Bridge. As the camera fades, we're treated to a beautifully brutal recreation of Escape. For those unaware of the story, Oliver was sold for scrap, but was saved by the Northwestern Railway's number 10, Douglas. The Caledonian twin had once been saved from scrap himself, so he returned the favor to Oliver. Although it would be incredibly brief as not to ruin the flow of the current story, this flashback would not just serve as fan service, but would also show the audience, or remind them, why Oliver has no intention of ever returning to the mainland, and why seeing it, even from afar, brought back a number of bad memories. Before long, Oliver returned to Vickerstown Yard. He looked around, but he couldn't see Toad anywhere. Hi, Rosie, do you know where Toad is?
Well, I know he was attached to Sydney's train, but I told him to leave Toad behind.
The two paused.
You don't think...
We then cut to Oliver racing down the line, light engine, towards the Vickerstown Bridge. Don't worry, Toad, I'll get you back quickly. Then Oliver sees the bridge and the mainland beyond. Despite his fears, Oliver plucks up courage and races across it. I'll get you back, Toad. I promise you. Elsewhere, Toad is finally waking up.
I must have fallen asleep. Where am I?
Toad looks around. He's in a goods yard like none he had ever seen.
Oh dearie me.
Can I help you? Toad was startled. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I'm sorry, what's your name? We pan back to see who Toad is talking to. The name's Hurricane, like a storm. This is where we'll be leaving this story for right now. How do you think the events of Journey Beyond Sodor will differ in this alternate retelling? And how do you think this will affect Oliver? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm ComicFan13, and I hope you have a good day.